4.
That was very like an official kind of TV show intro. And we're back.
Should get one of the snappers.
We used to have one. We used to have like a Warner Brothers Movie World kind of one. And we used it for like videos for like twice.
Yeah, the cheapest gift shop item from Warner Brothers Movie World.
Bugs Bunny, take 2. That's what it'd be for. But yeah.
Has there been a Looney Tunes movie?
Yeah.
I don't know if there has been.
There's been, like cartoon movies and stuff. You've got Space Jam. That's a Looney Tunes movie.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
I'm thinking just straight theatrical.
They would have to have 90-minute episodes and stuff, 100%.
Yeah, but none that are like the Simpsons movie. You know what I mean? Like it takes it from small screen to a big screen just for that one movie.
No, the 100% there's Looney Tunes movies.
But not
I remember
at the cinemas.
No, not at the cinemas. No, not as huge as the cinemas. No. But that's...
There's a big South Park one. There's a big Simpsons one.
Well, I guess because like Looney Tunes is kind of like vintage now, if you think about it, as opposed to compared to like Simpsons and South Park. Looney Tunes have been around since.
Yeah, so that therefore they'd probably have, or you'd think they would have more movies out.
Mm-hmm. You'd think so. Maybe that's why they tried to do the whole Space Jam with
I suppose Space Jam just trumps every other cartoon, or I guess it's like a hybrid between a cartoon and live action.
Yeah. Also another really good one, Roger Rabbit. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Such a good movie. Used to love that one. Watched it so many times.
What's the one with the bluebird? The old timey one?
The one that got banned
Has it
or
been
like
banned?
No, in the it's in the official Disney vault. But it is.
I just know the song. What's
Can't
it called?
remember.
If we say the correct thing, we're probably going to get flagged here.
Maybe.
Not that I'd really care. Mr. Bluebird.
On My Shoulder.
Song.
Yeah.
On My Shoulder song.
What movie is it from?
Song of the South.
Song of the South, yes, that's it.
Zippity Doodah. That's what the movie's called?
Song of the South, yes.
Featured in the film.
Mm-hmm. Very racist.
I watched that a bunch of times for some reason back in the day.
I used to have to sing the Zippity Doodah song for like one of my dance things. I used to have to sing that as well. So it was a very popular musical, just happened to be very racist.
Based on the Uncle Remus stories about the ingenious bunny Brer Rabbit using live action and animation. So it was Brer Rabbit. There you go. I didn't know that. I was so young when I watched this. Following the separation of his parents, the young boy goes to live in the American South. There he meets Uncle Remus, who gives the boy valuable insights into his problems, and via the stories he tells about Brer Rabbit. Mm-hmm. I just remember that song.
Yeah, it comes across and they do dance and they sing together.
What was racist about it?
I'm pretty sure there was blackface in there, but also because the kid, I think, is white and then Uncle Remus is black, I think, from memory, and it was just a very much like a over-the-top sort of thing because it's like in the South and it was very not good.
Fair enough. Well, I mean, not fair enough, but for the time, it would have been like no big deal, right? I remember watching it lots of times on VHS back in the day, I guess.
Yeah, like because it was a classic Disney movie. Same as there's a movie with Shirley Temple where she does blackface as well and like dances up and down the stairs. Like it's like a famous like dance sequence. But he was the butler, so yeah, not the best either.
I remember you watched a documentary about that, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or at least a YouTube.
YouTube documentary.
Mini-doc.
Yeah, because she ended up being a politician or an ambassador, like an international ambassador, Shirley Temple.
All right.
Yeah, the more you know.
So we went from Looney Tunes to Shirley Temple in minutes.
Literally 3 minutes. Classic.
That's what you get at the Look Mum podcast.
Yes. You never know what you're going to get. Sometimes it's news. Sometimes it's inspirational, motivational speak.
Is it inspirational?
Sometimes, like when we talk about like stoicism, or we had an episode where we talked about, creativity and how to do that or how to overcome it.
I think we're a bit flat this episode. We might have to change seats again. That episode was a good.
That was a fun one.
A good one.
Yeah, it was a Freaky Friday. Freaky Friday. Back to being Friday. That's what we are.
I think every Friday can be a Freaky Friday.
It can be.
It could be.
The day is how you make it.
I mean, what constitutes freaky? Because freaky back in the day when that movie was, there was a couple of movies made. I think we touched on this.
Yeah, there's the original one and then there's a Lindsay Lohan remake.
But even the Lindsay Lohan one's probably 20 years old by now.
100%.
So back what was considered freaky in 2000s is different to freaky now?
Yeah.
Or is it just freaky because it's just different?
Than the normal. Yeah. Well, I considered like now freaky is like AI and, Black Mirror kind of freaky.
I gotcha,
yeah.
I gotcha.
Yeah. And then I guess like freaky back then is like murderers and like Chainsaw Massacre and whatever it is.
So freaky, the definition of freaky's dropped down in how terrifying it can be.
Potentially. Yeah.
Or what do you consider more freaky or scary? AI or a murderer?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's a fair point. Like, I think a murderer, but you might have someone who's like, they can fight, right? Just imagine if you're a kung fu person, you're not going to be afraid of a murderer because you can just like literally like snap the knife out of their hands. You'd be more afraid of like someone taking my job.
Well, I guess it's the potential reach of each.
Mm-hmm.
How many people can a murderer kill?
It's a good question.
Not condoning murder.
Yeah.
But I mean, a mass murderer could kill, 100 people?
Mm-hmm.
But AI could potentially destroy
the whole entire world, like
yes.
Terminator.
So what should you be more afraid of?
Probably like the whole world's domination, right?
The invisible invader.
Yeah. It was Skynet anyway, so took over, destroyed the world. What?
It's just a stupid conversation.
That's all I got. Sorry. That's all I got. Well, you're wearing I think it's maybe because you're wearing the Bruce Lee one. I'm just thinking movies now, so for those that are just listening.
Have you ever seen a Bruce Lee movie?
Yes, when I was younger, but only because my older brother liked the movies. I don't hardly remember. I just remember a lot of fighting. I used to watch, actually, a big fan of like Jackie Chan movies. Used to love those.
Really? Which ones?
I can't even remember titles now. What was the one where he was a chef?
Tuxedo?
Pardon? No, not Tuxedo. Was it? No, he's a chef. There's one movie where he's a chef, and he's in a mall doing like a video demonstration and stuff, and I think someone's like getting kidnapped, or his niece gets kidnapped or something like that from memory. And
isn't that Rush Hour?
No, someone else's niece gets kidnapped in Rush Hour.
I think it's this one you're talking about. Mr. Nice Guy?
Yes, that's it. So what's the synopsis? How close was I?
Chinese chef accidentally gets involved with a news reporter who filmed a drug bust that went awry and is now being chased by gangs who are trying to get the videotape. That sounds pretty dope, actually.
And there's I think in this one, there's like a massive scaffolding scene where he's doing like parkour, kind of going off it and stuff. But from like a couple of Jackie Chan documentaries and stuff, he used to hurt himself heaps. He would go for these stunts. It's crazy. He's ultra famous, obviously, in China and stuff because he revolutionized the film industry for them and everything.
Well, this is 1997, and we've seen that VHS this morning, Wing Chun. I'd never heard of it, but it has Michelle Yeoh, who's super popular now.
Yes.
And this was, I think, from 1994.
Mm-hmm.
So what's that? It's 30 years.
Yes.
And she's, still doing the damn thing. She's in, Star Trek. She's in Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
And she was in Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or the Flying Swords. What one? That was a push her career forward as well.
Move over, Jean-Claude. Wake up, Arnold. Get ready for Asia's top action actress as she breaks her way into America. The former Miss Malaysia, Michelle Yeoh, is the beautiful and fearless Wing Chun. Watch as this devastating beauty overwhelms her foes with deadly force.
Very Jackie Chan-esque. The female lead. That's pretty cool, right?
Yeah, it was the move over, Jean-Claude.
And this tried to make it so appealing to the
American audience.
Yeah.
Oh, it's mad.
Doesn't it look like it's
Is it on any of the streaming platforms?
1994, man. Time goes so fast.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Amazon, potentially.
She's been in, she's amazing. She's been in so much. Very, very talented. Insanely talented.
Rotten Tomatoes. We're just turning into a movie pod now. 1994, audience 73%.
Pretty good.
There you go.
There you go. Very good. All right. Add it to the movie watch list.
The movies that we'll never get around to.
No, that we really have time. Like all we're doing is like I think we've talked about this before, but we have like maybe like half an hour, 45 minutes in the evenings before like one of us falls asleep that we sort of watch a little bit of movies or TV shows and finally finished Alone, which is a pretty intense.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say we finished it.
Oh, we finished a season.
Barely. Because you missed like 20 minutes. The thing is with that TV show, you can miss 30 minutes to an hour. I mean, if you miss an hour, you miss the whole episode. But you can easily fall asleep for 10, 20 minutes and just wake up and it's
like someone's gone. You're like, where did they go?
Well, it doesn't really make that much of a difference to the viewing experience. Like, oh, the guy's trying to catch another fish. This time it's a failure. Last time it was a success. But even when people leave, you don't really notice until it gets down to the final 2 or 3. So it's one of those shows it's perfect for watching before you go to sleep.
Yes, yeah.
If you miss something, you don't have to catch up. Like I would like to be able to read books before bed or even listen to audiobooks, but it's the time spent the next day trying to figure out where you fell asleep and what you remember and what you retain.
Gotcha.
Whereas with Alone, it's a guy in his tent or in his hopefully log cabin that he's built.
Yes.
Fending off the wildlife of Mongolia, but that was season 5, I think. I think it's probably like 10 or 12.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. Like when the contestant won and like their family comes out, and that's how they know that they've won the whole season because they're literally alone. Like no one's within. They can walk for a whole day and still not bump into anybody. And yeah, when the person won, family came in, and then the first thing was like, "Do you have food? Do you have food? Please tell me you have food."
He's like, "Oh, I won, awesome! Like now is their food."
Yeah,
it's not like there was this huge celebration because there's no energy.
No, and like a lot of them put on weight before they go into the season, knowing that they're going to have limited amount of calories and all that kind of stuff. And they're the ones I find that probably last longest because they have a lot more their body can kind of feed off, I guess, which is like an interesting thing.
Yeah, so if you haven't watched Alone, I mean,
it's pretty crazy. Like it's not crazy as in like, oh, so much is happening. There's wolves and bears and all that kind of stuff. It's just more of the mental aptitude. Thank you. Of just being able to survive by yourself because all they're doing is talking to the camera, like narrating their life. Like like humans are social creatures by nature. So it's a bit unnatural being by yourself, and just, trying to live and survive out there, whether it's like, catching fish with, crickets and just a normal fishing line and building your own cabin and trying to find ways so your cabin doesn't smoke up when you light a fire and, winter's coming and you've got to make sure that you're not freezing to death and all that kind of stuff. Like it's pretty amazing mental wise.
Yeah, it's wild I think it was the first or second season I tried finding the scene to show you, but some of the stuff they build is crazy. Once you have that bit of shelter and fire, you know how to make fire, and if you can find a decent little food source, there's not much time to do anything else that's critical, so you're just going to spend time building chairs, building little tools and accessories. There was one guy in one of those first seasons that built, I'm pretty sure he built like a little mini throne and a toilet or something, but he had like running water, so the way the rain was falling on the roof, there was some sort of container or device that would capture stuff.
Yeah.
And then you had like a foot pedal, as if like a sink, so you could just press the pedal with your foot. Yeah. And then it would wash your hands with the water that would run down.
Yeah.
If you had like blood and guts all over your hand, you don't want to get everywhere. You just come in and use your foot on the pedal and it would have whatever water was catching the roof from the day before, wash his hands, for example. That was pretty smart. But yeah, if you don't have any food, you're struggling. And that's what a lot of the season is, people just trying to crush rats with rocks.
Yes.
Which is pretty insane.
Yeah. And then some result into eating this like particular bark that they had that's like some sort of nutrition, but it's just mainly like calories. They just need something in their body and stuff. And then it's kind of interesting, like with the season, it'll pop up like info on the thing, but like this bark actually has a lot of like vitamin A in it that they need. And
that season in Mongolia wasn't that good compared to other ones. So there's always fear of predators coming in. There's always in that first 1 or 2 episodes, someone will hear something in the night and they'll make like a 5-minute scenario or dramatization of what's going on in terms of
And the camera looking in the
editing.
dark.
Yeah, the editing will just pull in some scary image or weird noise from any random night and then overlay it and edit it together as if the person in the tent is in severe danger right now. But there's never any real attacks or anything. In one of the first seasons, there was a few bear sightings and stuff.
Right.
From across like a creek or a river.
Mm-hmm.
But you scare them off just by yelling half the time.
Yeah. Because like, what is this weird thing that in the background that I've never smelt before kind of thing? Because they're in the middle of the wilderness.
But I haven't seen any attacks.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, if there was one, they probably wouldn't film it. So
yeah,
be pretty brutal. But very interesting show though. Super, super interesting, and just people trying to get through it.
Well, they can't leave until they hit their little, I guess what would you call it, just like a little GPS phone.
Yeah, it's like I think they call it I was going to say a sonar phone. It's a satellite phone. Yeah.
So they call that once they need to tap out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they have this like big buggy that comes in and the film crew, and then they just like literally stand in front of them, and I guess they just prompt the producers to be like, so why do you want to leave?
The crazy thing is I think they get their health and their weight checked, their blood pressure and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I want to say once every 2 weeks or something.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be any more than once a fortnight. You can't come every like second or third day, obviously.
No.
But to get out of the competition, you have to call that phone. But it's 2 weeks before anyone comes. Someone could easily die,
Mm-hmm.
and then just be so instant they don't have time to make a call if they get injured or attacked
100%.
or something.
Or they eat the one wrong berry or something like in Into the Wild.
Yeah, or I don't know.
Yeah.
They just hallucinate
Mm-hmm.
and they walk off, forget where they leave everything,
Yeah.
pass out until the next day, and then they're just disoriented and have lost.
Don't know where they are.
Well,
Yeah.
they have lost their phone. They don't know what's going on. That could potentially happen quite easily, and then they'd just die, and it would be 10 days before the film crew came out
Mm-hmm.
and found out. So it's crazy to think about how easy it is for someone to die on that show.
Oh, for sure. And I just like sort of thought, what if they have, because it's like 10 contestants, right? What if they have secretly like 12 contestants and they just pick like the best 10, or if they've got like a contingency in case something happens?
That's true. Well, a lot of the times you get through half the season and you haven't even seen out the...
Yeah, 100%.
Like, on Survivor, they go through everyone's story the 1st episode.
Yeah.
Well, most of the big players. And then sometimes some of the B characters, the editing and the production team start emphasizing those characters further on in the competition, because that's when they're playing more of a primary role in the competition.
They're talking more, creating more drama,
but
whatever
that
it is.
season, you're like, who's this guy? It's day 20. I haven't even seen this guy yet.
Yeah.
So either nothing happened interesting to them that time, or they didn't film, or it was just a breeze and there was no... Because the only reason you're watching is for conflict resolution.
Yes, yeah.
So if there's no conflict in those first 10 days, there's no point showing anything. The guy's just building a fortress, catching 10 fish a day, just living pretty.
Yeah.
You know, there's not much of a reason to add them.
From a TV producing point of view, 100%. Yeah.
So there's like, you don't get attached to the characters.
No, you
is
need like something sort of to happen, or, you know, if they're really good at like speaking out what it is they're doing, and like, if they have
the reason you watch Survivor is for the interpersonal relationships, the conflicts between groups, the alliances and things like that. But with Alone, there's no relationships being built because it's just
By themselves.
so you don't get attached to a single person.
No.
Because you're never rooting for them. You're not. It's not like you're given two people that are fighting. You have to kind of pick a side who you want to favor. So therefore, you start leaning towards them, wanting to know more about them. When they get voted off, you're more upset than someone you weren't attached to. But with Alone, it's like they don't have to defend themselves or get into arguments or anything in order for you to pick sides, to pick your favorite. So none of them, you don't get attached to any of the people. You're just like, oh, another guy, another fish. That's pretty much the whole viewing experience. It's pretty bizarre way to film a TV show.
Yes.
There's an Australian season you haven't seen, actually.
Oh, really? Was it any
Pretty
good?
boring. I mean,
Okay.
what are our predators?
Dingoes and like hog, depending on where you are in the country.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's not like you have 8 predators, each, you know, whether you're in the rainforest or up north or in the desert or something.
Yeah, it's either like, depending on where you are,
one
it's
or two
either
predators.
snakes, or it's like dingoes, or it's like hogs. Like, we don't really have wolves.
Nothing's
wolves
going
or
to like hunt
anything.
you down.
No.
potentially a pack of dingoes, but I reckon you could probably scare them off if you made the right noises.
Yeah.
So there's nothing that's going to ambush you necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas over there, you could have wolves and a bear
Yes.
and a mountain lion.
Yeah, I guess it'd just be like snakes and then the poisonous spiders, just depending. Yeah. Insects.
If a snake or a spider gets you, that's kind of your fault, though.
Yeah. Just got to stumble out on the ground.
Yeah, you're good at that.
Yeah.
So we've been watching Alone. Have you learned any
Survival
skills?
I feel like if I ever go fishing, I'm going to wear a pair of gloves. One.
Okay, you don't want to get a hook in your hand.
No. Yeah. But they're just like pulling up the fishing line with just like their bare hands. I'm like, will you cut yourself and stuff? Okay, all right.
Just unlucky.
Okay. I guess how to like build a lot of them built like pretty dope like shelters. They had the logs and stuff and they're putting like grooves in the logs. They sit comfortably and then they're filling up all the gaps with like moss and stuff so no breeze or anything would get through. That was pretty interesting. Oh, and the dude built a chimney, but he went to the riverbed and grabbed the clay from like underneath the riverbed, and then so that kept like the stones and stuff together to make a chimney. Like that was pretty cool.
I think they need to spend more time on that stuff because I get the show, it could be kind of more educational because the people are filming and probably explaining what they're doing in great detail. There's probably so much B-roll and video left on the cutting room floor that doesn't make the TV show.
Mm-hmm.
You could probably do a spin-off where it's just them doing instructionals of what they're actually doing.
Oh, 100%, because a lot of them are survivalists, and I think this season that we watched, the next one we're going to be watching, they were
a lot of them are like experienced, run courses.
Yes, yeah, they're like survivalist teachers and stuff, so it's more of like they're testing their abilities or I guess getting their credentials down and be like, yo, I survived alone for however many days, come see my course and I'll teach you how to survive in the wilderness.
Yeah, because there's only so many ways you can capture or kill an animal.
Yeah, you got like traps.
They do show you, they have the text, the lower thirds there on the screen to tell you what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
In this region, the clay dries harder or something. This is what it's called to the native people. It'll give you a bit of info.
Yeah.
But it's not enough for you to
be like, oh, I can do this too.
Yeah,
yeah.
Exactly.
Not very instructional.
Like a YouTube instructional component to the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because I would love to build one of those cabins. I wouldn't love to, but I'd love to know how in case that scenario did arise.
And what happens like afterwards? Because I know they take their backpack and stuff with them. They must take like their rubbish and like any plastics and stuff, but they just leave the structures built.
They showed I know for that season we just finished on the last episode, a time lapse of them taking it down.
Right.
So it's just obviously not the people that are removing stuff, but it's just the image of the video playing in a time lapse of the camp and then slowly over the course of 20 seconds in a time lapse, it's just getting reduced down. They're removing parts until it's just nothing on the land.
Yeah, fair enough.
Of course, they're not going to just leave a bunch of plastic and.
Well, just say if you were like lost in the wild and you come across this dope shelter, you're like, oh, thank God, like it's. Just thinking like that way. Obviously, they would remove all the unnatural elements, but just say if it was purely made from like logs and all that kind of thing. It'd probably be a condition of them being on the land, right? Like you'd have to put it, because it'd be like in some sort of national forest.
Yeah, nobody going to be just wandering through there. Unless you're like a Craig Adams type dude that just does those solo hikes.
Craig Adams?
The YouTuber? Does like the solo silent hikes.
Oh, yeah, they're really like beautiful looking ones. Like it's always like really beautifully.
You just like
the colors
hike some random island in Norway.
Yeah.
By himself.
Mm-hmm.
Don't speak the language, never been there.
No, and just have like really dope drone footage and interesting.
Cool.
Beautiful. But yeah, that's what I've been watching.
How long could you reasonably survive for? Let's say for example, the power went out.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's just dead.
Right.
Well, actually, should everyone be? Let me think of this scenario a bit better.
Like I'm the last one alive, like last man on earth type of scenario?
No, let's just say everyone's out of town for the weekend.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So everybody's just gone and I'm just like, where did everybody go?
Women's FIFA World Cup or something.
Right.
Everyone's just left for the weekend.
So in this particular scenario, everybody in Sydney is a fan or everybody in Australia?
Okay, let me rethink the scenario. We're in the cabin. We're in a cabin in the mountains.
Okay, yes.
Everyone's out of town for the weekend.
Yeah.
Population's only 100, so it's not a big deal,
Okay,
right?
yeah, it's just like a big like country fair or something.
It's
Everyone's
like
gone.
Tamworth music.
Oh, so
festival.
like so Taylor Swift is playing and everyone wants to go see her.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
In Swissville.
Yep. Gotcha.
Yep.
Mhm.
And then now the power's out.
Right.
All the doors are locked.
Right.
You don't have a phone,
Yeah.
and all you have is bush.
Mm-hmm.
How long would you survive for?
Do you want me to set up the scenario?
Actually, no. Because it's arbitrary, right? I want to know for sure. What 10 things would you take with you if you were on that show?
Yeah, because they all get to take 10 things, which is really interesting. So,
What would you take and why?
yeah, well, I've done like, the whole desert island thing. Like, what are the 10 things you take on a desert island with you?
Yeah, but it's like a straw for
Okay.
a coconut juice. I mean survival.
Okay, definitely a fire starter. Take one of those. So those like, I think we've got one here around the house somewhere, but it's just that special stone you scrape across and it makes sparks. So definitely a fire starter.
Does it deteriorate?
No. Like it can over time, but like it's going to last longer than matches and a lighter.
What is it?
They're just called like fire starters. So it's like a bit of a stone and it has like a bit of metal and stuff. And you,
Okay.
yeah, like one of those ones. Have you not heard of a fire starter before?
I mean, I thought you used them in the barbecue, the little brick things.
No, like these are, I don't know what those are. But yeah, it's just a bit of stone and stuff and you scrape across and it creates sparks. So you can use that. You just need a little bit of like flint. Is it flint? Finling?
You're the one explaining it.
Anyway, fire starter. So definitely a fire
It
starter. So
doesn't
that's one.
exist, which I don't think it.
No, you went past at the top, like fire starter stone.
They're sunglasses. They're pretty dope sunglasses.
Fire starter. Flint stone? Try flint stone. No, it doesn't work.
If you're going to tell me 10 things, they need to be real things.
Fire starter is definitely a thing. Fire starter stick or whatever it is. It's something, I promise.
Hang on, we need to get to the bottom of this, though. Block?
Yep. There we go. Yeah, so the magnesium block.
Where? This one?
No, that one. Yeah, so you have something like that.
It's
Fire
a dog
starter.
tag.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a thing.
Huh?
I promise.
For $7?
Yeah. You
Yeah.
strike against it and it creates sparks. Yeah.
Where? Which one? This?
Something similar to that, yes. See? Great spark. So for those that are
How does
just
that
listening, it's just a piece of specialized stone. So it's like a magnesium stone and then a bit of metal. And then if you scrape across it, it creates sparks.
Okay.
And then those sparks can then help light a fire.
Is that it? A ferro rod?
Something, that's another version of it, yes.
Ferro rod and striker.
Mhm. Yeah, so I'd have a fire starter.
I think it's got a ferro rod, though.
Well, that's a rod, like the other names for it. Where's the product name?
Ultimate fire making tool for any adventurer with an incredible shower of sparks will light your tinder over. Okay.
Mhm.
So what do you can take the ferro rod or the fire starter?
Probably the ferro rod because it probably looks more legit. Let's watch a video.
What an ad.
Yeah.
Oh, I can just use a knife against
Yes.
it.
Yeah. So it's just the type of material. Fire.
Right. Okay.
Mhm. So that's long lasting.
Yep.
Okay. Definitely have a tarp
Tarp. What?
for sure, like
Yep.
just a waterproof tarp. I don't know.
As opposed to a paper
No.
tarp.
Is it paracord? Paracord?
Paracord.
Paracord, yeah. So it's like I think I've got like one of those, but they sometimes come in bracelets and stuff. So it's like a big cord, but you've got heaps of cords within it, so it can be used
So
for multiple.
a cord of cords, like the ring of rings.
Yes, it is. Yeah,
Okay,
the
yeah.
cord of all cords. So that's 3.
Mm-hmm.
Sleeping bag. That's optional, right? You have to opt for a sleeping bag. Yeah, I need a
What do you
sleeping
mean
bag.
it's optional?
No, it's like in Alone, right? Did they have the ability? Did they bring? Was the sleeping bag one of their 10 items?
I don't know.
Okay, but I'm just going to say sleeping bag anyway. I'll need a cast iron pot.
Cast iron pot. Yep.
Yep.
How many, are you counting?
So fire starter.
Ferro rod.
Yeah. Tarp.
Yep.
Sleeping bag.
Sleeping bag.
Cast iron pot.
Cast iron pot.
Yep.
I think you said one more.
Paracord. Yep.
That's 5.
I'll
count from now on.
Okay. I guess like fishing line.
To learn how to fish, just
I guess I'll try and fish. Yeah. Like if I'm near a
Fishing
river.
line,
Yeah.
yep.
And I'll need like some sort of hooks, I guess, because everyone had hooks in a loan.
unless you're trying to lasso some fish, then
Yeah.
you put in some hooks. Yeah. That's a 7.
That's 7.
So you got something to shelter, to keep
Mm-hmm.
warm. You got
Yeah.
something to start the fire. You got
Yes. something
something to cook in.
Mm-hmm.
You've got something to make a kill with,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully.
Yep. Is like a water bottle? Is
It's
that
pretty smart, yeah.
yeah? Grab a water bottle,
That's
like a big
8.
one. 8. What else? Oh, I'll need some sort of like hunting thing. So like,
What's your hunting weapon of choice?
is this like assuming that I've sort of done some training beforehand, or is
Well,
this
have you-
me now?
I'm assuming you haven't fished before
No,
either.
I'll need a knife. Yeah,
What kind of knife?
like a big hunting knife. Need like a
Machete?
machete, like a proper knife to like.
I mean, for what? Killing animals, or because you're going to want to chop some trees down at some point.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna need an axe as well. Okay. Yeah.
So you're going axe and knife.
Yes. Because like just say I need to like gut and
Okay.
yeah.
What size knife? Because you can't gut a fish with a machete.
Just like a medium-sized hunting knife.
How long are we talking here?
Like
How long's the blade?
probably like this big. So like 10 inches. Is that like 7 inches?
You're asking the wrong guy.
Like a medium-sized hunting blade?
Yeah, medium. Just a medium-sized guy.
Medium-sized hunting blade?
That's bad.
Yeah, and then like an axe to like chop down trees and stuff.
Like, that's actually a pretty good list.
Okay, what about you?
Probably the same.
Yeah.
Sleeping bag. It's just going to get probably wet and smelly. It's just another thing. Like, you kind of want things that they're disposable. They can break down, but they're going to take decades.
Mm-hmm.
Like an axe and a knife,
Mm-hmm.
going to last you ages. That flint thing should last you ages. Paracord can be used over and over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
But sleeping bag gets wet, gets smelly, gets moldy.
Mm-hmm.
Then you've kind of wasted something
Right.
that could have been replaced with
Mhm.
something that can be used day in, day out.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I
Like a wool blanket or something?
mean, this has the same problem. I mean, let's see what the most common things are. I'll
Okay.
pick one more before we get into
Okay,
that.
yeah.
Survival. I mean, you had that survival handbook before.
I
That
did,
was
yes.
for zombies, though.
It was, but it actually had a lot of just like generalized survival knowledge in there. That's why I got like because I think after that I went on a bit of not like a mission, but ended up getting, I had a paracord bracelet and I got that fire starter thing just in case something happened. And yeah, got a baseball bat.
All right, so I'm not going to pick one, but this is from elementbushcraft.com, the 10 best 10 item kit. Let's see how close you got to it.
Okay. All right.
Best 10 items: axe,
Mm-hmm.
right? Benefits: shelter building, camp crafts, personal defense. Probably, yeah, that's going to be better defense than a knife for
Yep.
some animals.
Mhm.
Knife, something about that, you
Yep.
reckon? You
Yeah.
reckon medium size?
No, I think that's a medium-sized knife. Yeah. Shelter, food prep. Yeah, for food prep and stuff.
Multi-tool.
Oh, I
That's
should
where
have
you wanna-
picked
that's
that.
where
Yeah, like a
you-
Swiss Army
That's how you get your
multi-tool.
hook out of your hand.
Yes.
Swiss Army knife.
Yep. Gotcha.
Ferro rod.
Mhm.
Not really a flint fire thing. Right?
Whatever, fire
Yeah.
stick.
Metal pot.
Yep.
300 yards of fishing line, 25 hooks.
Mhm.
Gill net.
Interesting.
Do you know what that is?
So, of all the food
Do you
gathering.
know what it is? I said don't read it.
No, I don't. Like, I'm assuming it's some sort of net
Do
to
you know
catch fish.
They actually make them on the show.
Ah.
But that can be made with your paracord.
It can be made with I think the dude actually made one with a paracord. He was like, remember, it was like, I think it was like a time lapse of him just like 4 days of just like
Yes,
knitting
and
a
then he
basket
caught
together.
nothing with it.
Yeah.
Sleeping bag.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Warmth. Yep.
5 pounds of pemmican. I don't know what
What's
that is.
that?
Calorie-dense food that will provide days of life-sustaining nutrients that will allow for the preparation. And so it's a bunch of just high nutrient-dense
Calorie,
food
yeah.
to get you through those first few days while you're So you don't have to go hunting for those first few days.
Because you need to build your shelter. Yes.
5 pounds of dried pulses and legumes. So what was the first thing you said? Ferro rod you had.
Yeah.
Sleeping bag. You're a couple off.
Yeah. So the thing
Water can.
Yeah, I did a water can. I think they just use their pot most of the time for like water.
Honorable mentions. Tarp.
Yep. Canteen, bear canister.
Canteen. Yep. So you actually
Sharpening tool, duct tape, small.
canteen and tarp are the ones that you added.
Yeah.
You might survive longer than I would.
Maybe. I don't know. I'd like to think I'd be able to survive alone for a little bit. I was a bit of a loner child, so you never know.
Do you have any skills though?
You know what? I think I'd be able to build stuff. To be honest, I'd be able to figure it out. I'll be able to build a shelter.
For 1 or 2, because I might be struggling out there.
You can come on over. I'll build one for you too.
Yeah, I'll try and find that video or the photo of the guy that built the.
Because didn't you say someone like built like a chess set as well?
I'm sure someone built a chess set.
Alone, woodworking. Because it was in that season, a dude was like making a spoon out of wood. Let's see.
Keep talking while
Okay. Why are you doing it? Because you'd have a lot of downtime, right? So a lot of the time they're just like, I guess because they don't have a lot of calories and stuff, they're just like napping and sleeping and just trying to reserve.
It doesn't take much calories just to like
but like woodworking
swiggle and do things with your hands.
And it keeps you busy as well. Canadian Rockies, running water. Be so hard to find.
No,
Built running water.
No, look at this guy's one, just stringing up all this food to
drying
to dry.
Drying out the meat.
I'll have to find. I can't find this guy that built that thing. Anyway, it's kind of boring for people that are just listening. I definitely. Hang on. Here we go.
You found it? Noob survival.
So, Hunger's Grip is season 2, episode 4. So
it's Mike. Mike has built all kinds of amazing shelves.
Okay, he works on his
wood.
home. Mike, sorry, I'm going to cut you off there. Mike is amazing and has built all kinds of stuff. He has shelves, split wood, tables, stoves, a hand washing station with the pedal rigged to a jug which dispenses water. He says he has everything but his wife.
Oh.
And that's it. Justin catches a fish with his gill net.
Ah. Okay. Yeah, I could build a hammock out of the paracord.
It's pretty. We should watch some of the. I mean, what did we start watching?
The one that
season 9.
It was season 9, which was past
yeah.
contestants as well. So they were,
Was
I guess.
it?
Yeah, or was it the new season we started watching?
Yeah.
Yeah, season 9. The one before that was past contestants, so they had a little bit more experience.
5. So
yeah.
Number 9, like you said at the start, everyone else is already an expert, or not everyone else, but everyone on this season is an expert or runs some sort of course or program and is super experienced. So you'd imagine as each season goes on, people that were already experts to begin with have watched more and more seasons go by, and they've even up their
skill set,
their survival skill set even more.
And then they want to go on this season to test it as well.
So you'd assume each season should be a longer amount of time. Everyone's out in the wild.
Because 100 days is like the max, right? Not the max, but I don't think anyone's... What was the longest? I think 100 days was the longest that someone survived. The longest alone contestant.
Ronald Welker, season 7. In honor of her memory, he dedicated his efforts to winning the competition. He's dedicated 100 days. 100-day king.
Wow. Well, the winners from every season.
This is a spoiler for every single season.
Ah, yeah. Spoiler alert.
56 days, 66 days, 87, 75, 60, 77, 74.
Oh, that
100.
dude looks like he would look at him, the 100-day dude.
It's like Putin's lost brother. 78, 50. So 100 days. Do you reckon they would know what day they're up to? They'd probably have some sort of scratched in tally.
Yeah, we also just gave ourselves, because I haven't seen season 9, so I just saw who the winner of season 9
You're going
was.
to forget about it in 2 seconds.
Fine, fair enough. But they're all
People.
white dudes. Most of them.
What do you... I'm supposed to defend white people or something?
No,
now?
no, not at all.
How do you know
Just
they're
that-
all white?
It's just crazy. It's all good. Oh, yeah, it's true. I
The
don't know.
guy's kind of Mexican.
Maybe.
I mean,
South
his name
American?
is Juan Pablo Quinones, and he's from Mexico.
Mm-hmm. That's true. All right. I just saw the first 4. That's fine.
Ease up on the white guys for once.
Interesting. But yeah, how long do you think you'd be able to survive?
It depends on the climate.
Mm.
Like the one we watched in Mongolia, as soon as it starts snowing, no chance.
No. Well, but you don't like the snow, but you also don't like the ultimate heat as well. Ultimate heat. So it just needs to be like nice, like spring
What do
or
you
autumn
think would
weather.
be harder? Maintaining a fire, building and relying upon a shelter, or hunting animals? Because you can just go and rip plants if you have to.
Yeah, like
So-
in winter, it's going to be definitely harder because plants die, animals go like elsewhere to like warmer weather. So summer would be better, 100%.
Rank those 3 in terms of how hard they would be for you. So
Hunting probably be the hardest.
over maintaining a fire and
Mhm.
building, yep.
Yeah.
And then would you have more struggle staying warm?
If I had a sleeping bag, no. If I was able to maintain a fire and had a sleeping bag, probably not.
So what would be the easiest thing for you? Building a shelter?
I'd say so. Yeah. It'd take long, like it's time consuming, but I think it's like the easiest. As long as you like have a general idea of how structures can be sound and sturdy and water can't get through.
That's the main thing.
Mhm.
That's
where the tarp comes into play.
Well, yeah, but tarp fills up with water as well.
Yeah, but then that's why you build like it on an angle so it can drip down.
Is that why they build houses on an angle?
Yeah, something like that. So
So some houses around here that have flat roofs, and I always walk past and I'm like, is there just like gross, like you know how you get stagnant water and mosquitoes and stuff breed in there?
no, it'd have to be the roof would have to be on some sort of like it'd have to be some sort of bulb or like it'd have to like be able to drain out somehow.
Bulb.
Yeah. Like I don't know, it'd be like a bulbing thing and there'll be like at the edges there'll be some drainage because like you don't want it sitting there because it can rot away after a while. Yeah, because I'm apparently a building houses expert.
Roof bulbs. First I've heard of that.
Breaking news.
So we should probably binge the rest of these alones.
I'm enjoying it.
I mean, there was the Bear Grylls was...
He had his own version where he's taking celebrities and stuff, right?
That was probably after he was established. The first 10 years was just him in the wild. But apparently half of it's set up and fake anyway.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Like I remember seeing this meme of like someone jumping, like him jumping over a ridge and then someone like also jumping over the same ridge and they turn the camera around and there's like a car park behind it.
It's just so dodgy.
Well, it's movie. Like his whole
Sensationalized.
idea was just like, I'm teaching you how to survive, not necessarily like in an actual.
Yeah, I'm not really going to drink my piss.
Didn't he really drink it?
I don't know, probably. If he just faked where he was getting dropped off, then he definitely faked drinking piss.
Out of a snake skin? Remember that?
Is that what
Yeah,
it was?
he peed into like a snake skin, like a shedded snake skin, and then used that. And that way you can also like carry it around with you and stuff.
Oh, so it's like a calypso.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fucking disgusting.
I know. Pretty gross.
Snake skin calypso.
Trevor known as the dude that drank his own pee, so, you know.
He's laughing all the way to the bank, though.
Oh, 100%.
He's got books.
Yeah.
He's got clothes.
Yep.
We've flipped a few of his clothes before. Got tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah, and he's like,
He's like,
I'm
that
sure
piss
like
was all worth
Foxtel
it.
or the, you know, those kind of companies. Or,
Foxtel.
like whatever, like has these shows like National Geographic
Yeah.
or Discovery Channel, whatever. He's probably still getting royalties and stuff
yeah,
from those
for sure.
replays. Yeah. 100%.
Plus, everyone knows his name. He's
Yeah.
basically like a noun.
Well, like imagine a name like Bear Grylls. Like that's a perfect kind of,
Why does he not have a grill line?
I don't know.
Should be definitely capitalizing on
You know what he's probably done? He would have to have done some barbecue ads or like some sort of
outdoor camping.
Yeah, outdoor
cooking.
camping. Yeah, 100%. Grilling with Bear Grylls.
It's the most obvious one. I got nothing else that's better though, so let's go with that.
All right, Grilling with Bear Grylls, outdoors. Outdoor edition.
As opposed to in your living room edition.
Yeah, most people do it in the living room or, you know, in a pretend space.
How old would he be?
He would definitely be in like, he'd be, you know what,
50s.
50, I'd say 56. How old do you think?
52. 49.
Okay, you're closer.
God, there's so much info these
Oh my God,
days.
what's that moustache? Okay, it's fine. There you go. British adventurer. Businessman. Right, drinking blood.
Deer blood.
Ugh. Drinking piss. On the show. He drank it on more than one occasion, I think. Oh yeah,
did
this
he?
is it.
I'm Bear Grylls, and I'm in the Sahara to explore the real-life stories of people taken to the brink
Why is he
of death
running?
in the most unforgiving of
Because
landscapes.
he's trying to survive.
Deserts.
Well,
He needs to get out of the sun.
No one's chasing him.
See the
Northern
peak in
Australia,
YouTube, like that's where
one
he pees.
unwitting young man was about to discover just how cruel they can
You
be.
see this peak down here, that's what
Sam
you said?
Woodhead was
Yeah.
a 19-year-old Brit.
It's always, YouTube
A
gives it
large
away.
proportion of that is going to be fluids that can help hydrate you. If you're dehydrated though,
This
and
is
your
like
pee
probably
is
another time he's
stinking
drink
thick
pee.
brown colour, that's just pure waste product. That's not going to help you at all.
Oh my God.
But Maro was smart. He drank while he was still relatively hydrated.
Oh my God, I'm like
Horrible though it
vomiting
was.
in my mouth.
It helped keep him alive.
It'll help keep me alive. He gives him for more.
Oh man.
It's
Just-
about digging deep, doing the unimaginable. And that's what
Such
these
someone
guys
was
were
like
learning.
this. I swear he
Ugh.
peed in a snake skin.
Sorry?
I swear he peed in a snake skin. Snake. Snake skin.
Yep, you're right.
Yep. Oh my God. Yeah, this has to be an older one. So he's done it more than once. You don't need to do it once, man.
Oh, it is like a Calypso. What the hell, man?
Disgusting.
And that's why you take a canteen with you.
I know, of water. Jesus, man.
I'm kind of horrified by watching that.
Yep.
Sorry, guys.
Oh, terrible. But it's one of those things, right? Honestly, as bad as it is, if you're like dying, you'd probably drink it.
I'm Bear Grylls, and I'm going to show you what it takes to survive in some of the most dangerous. Basically,
Oh, it's a parody?
going to be good to go. Oh, man. Closer inspection. This is, got a familiar tinge. This could be human.
Oh my
Then, yeah,
God.
that's human.
Funny. Bear
What?
Grylls eats his own shit parody.
Oh my God.
Takes eating shit to a whole new level.
Okay. Yep, all right.
Well, this podcast went south.
It did. It went.
Literally south.
It literally went down the shit.
Ones and twos.
Yes. Sorry, guys. This is in Alone they don't do this because they always drop them off near a riverbed. So that's
Yeah,
fine.
that's true.
Yeah.
Just do anything you want. Kill anything.
Mhm.
Put your glasses on straight. You're all
Oh.
crooked.
Sorry.
You kill anything, do anything, say anything. Just don't drink piss.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We see what happened to Bear Grylls. Tanked the ratings.
Yeah.
The show's doing pretty well.
Mhm.
We'll put you near river. Just don't drink piss.
Yeah. Just don't
please.
drink that. No. Yeah. Do we have any news to talk about? No.
Other than I didn't drink piss this week. No.
Or poop. That's fine. Not this week, anyway.
You've been watching or reading anything cool? And then you're reading your romance novels again. So that's always
Well, like I'm
Concerning time.
half read one.
you just got to the climactic point and then just
No,
down.
haven't even got that far yet. Barely even have time to read.
so it's just foreplay for 10 chapters.
No, I'm actually, you know what? I'm actually listening to the audiobook of The Artist's Way by Julia Chaplin? The artist. Cameron, thank you. I was like, that's not right. So I've just started listening to the audiobook version of that, which is really interesting. So I've always like danced around the idea. What, bring it up? Oh, sorry. Or just like what is creativity and stuff. And I'm trying to think of like a video idea and stuff around it. But yeah, it's just really interesting because I know you've practiced the morning pages before, but there's like another thing that they do as well, which is like the artist time, or just like, it's like an hour a week of just purely focusing on art. So no distractions, no nothing. And just like they call it like, it's almost like a solo like date time as well. So whether it's listening, viewing, experiencing it, just like doing something that's like creative, or like seeing something that's creative and stuff, it just for like at least a minimum of an hour.
What's it called?
So there was, she does like morning pages, and I think it's called like artist time. I think I'm getting the name wrong. Like I've only just started listening to that particular chapter of the book. But it's like a 10-hour audiobook as well. Like it's a very, very long book.
Yeah, the book is thick.
Yes. Yeah. But it's just really interesting. Like a lot of people use it, whether you're a writer, a painter, I don't know,
artist
singer.
date.
Yeah. Is that called an artist date? I think. Artist date, potentially.
All right. I'll read it off the interweb.
Mm-hmm.
How to set up a year of artist dates.
Yes.
An artist date is a way to devote time to your creative self.
Mm-hmm.
It should be done solo, and the time is just for you. Julia Cameron, the author of The Artist's Way, describes them as assigned play. It may be walking through an art supply store or visiting a museum. Anything you find creative or enjoyable. Ideally, an artist date is best done once a week, but let's be realistic. Most of us can't accomplish that, so why not aim for at least once a month? Make time in your personal and professional calendar to block out uninterrupted time just for you and some art. So it's not even making art, it's just getting close to art in any capacity.
Yes.
Plan ahead, let your family and friends know you have blocked out time. So it's a solo date, but it's specifically centered around art.
Yeah.
I mean, that could
around creativity. Yeah.
Could be watching a movie. It's, I mean, it says here as an example, taking a walk through an art supply store, visiting a museum.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are you doing when you're visiting a museum?
You're
being stimulated, and you're just looking at an art. It's just individual pieces or sculptures that are all telling their own story. But watching a movie is basically kind of a moving museum, if that kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, if you're just your creative path is in the film industry, like watching maybe a classic movie or like an art house film or whatever it is, that could be
inspired.
Exactly. And like I like the idea of like walking through an art store because it could be the textures, the colors, just getting inspired by something else. Like you could be, I don't know, your medium could be clay and you see, I don't know, plaster or something. Like it's just one of those things that's, you know, just creating that time.
So doesn't everyone have artist dates and when they're just watching movies?
Well, it's about the intention behind it. So if you're just chilling and watching a movie and zoning out, you're not really absorbing the art. You're just being entertained.
Okay.
Where this one here is being conscious about what it is that you're doing. You're just being open to it. And that's the whole idea about creativity, whether it's like Rick Rubin's book. It's just about, they always have that chapter of being receptive to it and not closing off. So it's just being completely open to different ideas, different inspiration, new experiences, and then sort of reflecting on that as well.
All right. So it says here that artist date should be a solo adventure, time for just you and your creative self. Identifying activities that and time may be tough. You may twinge of guilt with the first couple, get easier, such and such. Ideas are visit local museum, tour art gallery, shop for an unusual art supply, go to your favorite fabric store, browse fabrics, buy a new sketchbook, create a sculpture, play with 3D items in your recycling bin, tear up magazines, go to like different classes, sketch at a cafe, watch a movie or film about an artist.
Yeah, that's interesting.
So I guess more of like a biography just to see how an artist lives.
Yeah, like Picasso or whatever.
An artist date is important as it rewards you and renews your creativity in ways the classroom cannot. So it's more about getting your hands kind of dirty rather than the theory side of things, which is what a lot of the books and the self-help motivational things are. It's like, here's the theory around it, but you don't get a chance to, I guess that's what they call it, play. It's being able to play.
Yeah.
By feeding your artist soul, you are nourished and thus have more to give to your students. Refill your cup.
Yeah. So it's a
Before
bit
you can-
essential.
Before you
Like,
can fill up cups of others.
yeah, because like last week I said I had that solo date day and I really felt refreshed and like rejuvenated and stuff. So this is just a way to refill your creativity, your creative cup in a way. But yeah, so like, yeah, if you're stuck on video ideas, just go out and, I don't know, do something new. But a lot of those books say go outside, go for a walk, try a new experience. It's very much, a lot of these things are like similar practices, but I guess there's a reason why they're always talking about it because it works.
Yeah. I mean, there's some great lists here about things you can do or try.
Mm-hmm. And they said it doesn't always have to spend money either. Like if you plan them in advance, you can go out and do free things. That's going to, I even not joked around it, but like, hey, let's go to a pasta making class. Like little things like that could be interesting, right?
Yeah, even as simple as making a recipe or... I mean, this kind of just means that you could just do anything and just say, oh, there's an artistic angle.
Yes. Well, it's about the intention, like I was
I
saying.
can do a Sudoku and be like, oh, I just want to think about it because I want to write something. I need to get some numbers. Like, I don't know. You can make up any reason and call it an artist date.
Yeah. Well, again, it's the intention behind it, like what you want out of it.
Okay. So it's
So
a good
really-
book. You're
yeah.
enjoying it?
Yeah. I'm like, I think I'm like a quarter of the way through and really, really enjoying it. So
All right. So are
highly
you going to
recommended.
set artist dates for
I
yourself?
think so.
2
Yeah.
hours.
2 hours, once a
we-
month.
You can do 2 hours. You do whatever
Mm-hmm.
you want. I mean, I like the idea.
Mm-hmm. I think you should do it as well. Like, I think it would help your creativity, like just trying to think up new ideas, getting out. Because I know you like to go for walks when you're feeling a little bit stuck, but I think that's a
I'm
good
not
idea.
walking past the art or I'm not.
No, we can do them together.
What do I do? Just go for a walk and listen to someone read poetry on audiobook.
Yeah, I could do that. Mm-hmm. Maybe some Edgar Allan Poe, you know?
I don't know any Edgar Allan Poe.
The Raven.
Do you know?
Caw, caw.
Do you know a single line? I was going to buy that poetry book this morning. You weren't even interested.
I didn't even know what kind of poetry it was.
It's a compilation of the best modern English
Okay.
in literature.
Right.
Haikus.
Okay, fair enough. Give me a haiku now.
Forget what the structure is.
Isn't it like 3, 4,
5, 3 or
something like that? Yeah.
No, can't do it.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Well, it seems like we're burned out of ideas to talk about here.
I better go finish that book then and
Well, you need
be
to
able
get.
to share
Yeah,
the
we should have
inspiration.
had. I mean, you could do it for the podcast.
I could. All right, I'll
Artist
finish off
date.
the book and I'll
I mean, not to talk about the. I mean, to bring the create because the idea is that you go out of side of your place to bring creativity back into your home or
Yeah.
when you're going to create.
Mhm.
So maybe we needed to do some this week because we were obviously unprepared and talked about alone and survival and eating poop.
And yeah, we did. We did finish it off on a nice note though, so.
All right, so
Yeah.
no date night tonight. We'll be doing solo artist dates.
Yes. All right.
I'm just going to watch Batman.
Go for it. Get inspired by
Bruce
Bruce Wayne and be like, I'm Batman.
I am Batman.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a review, do all that things. Really appreciate it. Type it out. What Drew's doing, pretending.
Smash the keys. Smash the
key.
like button.
Yes, all the above. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one.
See ya.
Bye.